Hi everybody, this is Galen Martling. I am here with Unity Stamp Company showing a mixed media style card. And this one incorporates stamping with watercolor and also some stenciling and gold wet embossing. And it's a beautiful vase mixed media style stamp. So this vase and flowers all one stamp, and the sentiment was added to it using waterproof ink onto watercolor paper. And so I just want to go over the kits that I use from Unity. The stamps are Be Gentle with Yourself, and also I have Fallout Hearts background dies and polka dot stencil 6x6 size. And also I have the Sentiment by Cherished Holly stamp set. It's a sentiment kit as well, and scallops and rectangles nesting dies. And so those are the stamps, and I stamped onto watercolor paper, and I'm using brush pens. They're watercolor pens called Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens or markers. And so the way I use them today, and you can use them a few different ways, I went ahead and added the color to the stamped image on the watercolor paper, and then I use a wet brush to blend out the color, to move the color around. And I decided to make this vase sort of vintage looking, so I added a couple of colors of blue, and then I added sort of an orangey gold color to give it more of a vintage look. I love the way it turns out. Now I'm coloring in the flowers using two of the reds that I have. I list all of the colors of the Zig markers, the Zig brushes, if you will, here and on my blog. And they're numbered. And so I have a set of them, and I just picked out which ones I wanted to use for this particular project. So now I dab the color in, two different shades, and I use a damp brush, not too wet, just very damp, and blend out some of that color. And then I go in again with another shade of red and do the same thing again. Once I get the reds the way I want, I add something dark. I didn't want to add black, but I added dark brown in between some of the petals there, just to give it some dimension and separation. And then I heat set it. I heat set the flower, and I also heat set the vase. Now I'm adding more of a shadow or shading using wisp of brown, and then I use the wet or damp brush to blend out some of that to make like a shadow and add to the vintage style of this stamp. And so you just go ahead and until you want to stop. I mean, you can keep going with this. You can cover the whole card. I just decided to keep most of the stamping and the image and the accents all on one side of the card, sort of to the left side. And then now I am going to add it's metallic gold embossing paste. This one is from Dreamweaver, but there's lots of brands out there that have the gold embossing paste. This one's a metallic gold. It's beautiful. It shimmers with the light so beautifully. And so I'm just adding a few different spots onto the polka dot stencil there by Unity. And there you go. You make sure that's all the way dry before you proceed. I let it stay out for about 30 minutes. You can heat set it if you want. Just do that very carefully. And so I made a mistake there, and I smushed some of the gold. And so I'm covering it up with some hearts. A heart on the top there, and I added some smaller hearts. So these are excess cutouts from a background of hearts that Unity has. And I use them a lot. I just love to add hearts as accents. Thanks so much for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share, and have a wonderful day.